Hey, welcome back to Square Body Stuff. I'm Chad, and we're in the shop again today with old Squeaky. I've got his engine still on the stand. Things have been a little bit of a standstill here in the shop. That's why I haven't put any videos out here lately. Just had a lot of stuff going on outside of the shop. Personal life, farming, all that other stuff. So I'm still okay, doing good. I appreciate everybody's sent comments or messages, wanting to make sure I'm doing okay. Still plugging along. I have got quite a bit of stuff done with the block, a lot of kind of cleaning up stuff. I've got some parts in, and that's about it. So I'll catch you up on all that real quick. Before I do that, go check out my Teespring store where you can check out my merchandise. I've got some hoodies and shirts and coffee mugs, whatever. Go check that out. The link to that is in the description box below. Also, hit that subscribe button if you like what you see here, mostly about square bodies and square body stuff. So let's get into what I've got going on with this engine block, the plans, and the parts that I've got so far, the parts that I'm going to still need to order. Of course, everybody knows how the part situation is right now. Some things you can't get right now. So I've been trying to just order everything I know I'm going to need, and there's only a couple things I'm still waiting on to get. There's probably more than I can think of off the top of my head, but we'll get into that real quick. Of course, you may be asking yourself, why would a feller take that 305 block right there that was in this old Chevy pickup with the 4-speed, not a car 4-speed, a truck 4-speed, it's sitting right there on the floor, and try to drag race it and have fun with it? Well, that's pretty much it. I'm just having fun with it, doing something different. Gonna stroke the 305 out. It'll be probably 334, 339. Depends on how big I go with the bore size. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do there yet. If it'll clean up at 30, I might just go 30 over. But then again, I may just go 60 and be done with it, because probably never gonna use this block again. But we're getting this thing ready for No Name Nationals is a big thing I'm going to do with this. That's an event coming up at the end of September, 1st of October in Sikeston, Missouri. It's going to be for YouTubers, and I mean, anybody could go spectate, but as far as participating in the event, drag racing, car show, I think they got some monkey bike racing, whatever that's about. You have to be a YouTube creator with at least 500 subscribers or more. So for those of you that don't have 500 subscribers, don't worry about it. Keep plugging away, put those videos out, keep going with it. You'll get there. Just remember to hashtag No Name Nationals, either one word or 2 words, whatever, 3 words. Hashtag that in all your titles and description. That'll get stuff going for you. So go check out No Name Nationals. See what that's about. We're going to be going. I'm a little behind schedule with everything I've had going on, but I'm trying to get busy back in the shop. It's going to be hit and miss still yet, because now we're coming up on hay season, so we're going to have to get all the hay equipment ready and yada yada yada. I've got my other vehicles I got to work on. Not sure if I'm going to put any videos on this channel about our 2019 Ram pickup of my wife's. I've got some parts I need to put on it. That would make some good content, but not sure if I would put it on this channel or maybe my other stuff channel, which I do have another channel. It's called Other Stuff. I just got a couple videos on it, so if you want to, go check it out. But not sure what I'm gonna do with that. But I do have other vehicles to work on. I just got a lot of stuff going on, so bear with me, and we will keep plugging away, because that's how it goes sometimes when you have projects. You get stalled out, you can't get parts, or other stuff comes up. Just keep your head up and keep plugging away at it. Just make one step at a time. As long as you're making steps forward and not too many steps back, you're going to get to your goal. Now, to kind of catch you up on what I've got done on the block, I'm not going to go over every little detail. I did have some video of me working on this and getting it stripped down, pulling all the core plugs or freeze plugs, whatever you want to call them, and the oil galley plugs, pulling all that stuff out, all the bearings. I got all the cam bearings out. I had some video of that, but it got messed up. Didn't get it saved right or something, so I lost that footage. So I did get a little frustrated at that and thought, I'm just gonna do what I need to do at the block and then catch you guys up whenever I'm pretty well ready to send it off the machine shop, which that's about where I'm at. Just a couple other little details I want to do to it. And yes, I'm going overboard, maybe not to the maximum extremes, but I'm going a little overboard for just a little 305. You can see I've got deck plugs. That'll help strengthen up the deck, because I'm going to be hitting this thing with at least a 250 shot of nitrous, like I have already, but it's going to be making more power naturally aspirated. How much, I don't know. Maybe once I get it built, I can work out a deal with a buddy of mine that they have a dyno and everything, so I might be able to work out something when we put this on the dyno. But don't get your hopes up, because we don't know for sure. Going around this thing, of course it hasn't been bored yet. Haven't gone to any machining or nothing other than opening up the oil drain back. This is just stuff I've usually do to any of the engines that I'm building that's going to be used for to make any type of power. It just, well, the oil drain back don't help make power, but it'll help your oil drain back direct it more back to the back of the block or the front. Keep it off your crankshaft and stuff. Keep the windage down. Let's see. Cleaned up the block a little bit with where the timing chain, just to make sure my timing sprocket doesn't hit it. All the corners and stuff have been knocked down, kind of blended up, so it doesn't have any sharp edges. Sharp edges are hard on your fingers, and also any sharp edge on the block could be a stress riser. I didn't really do much to the deck yet because I am going to have this decked. So once I have it decked, then before I do anything else, I'll clean it up a little bit, kind of chamfer the edges. But yeah, so let's flip this thing over and show you kind of what I got going on the bottom end. All right, so as you can tell, this was originally a 2-bolt block because I think all the 305s were 2 bolts. But to help hold the horsepower, and I've never done it before, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it or not without actually having a machine, a mill and stuff like that to do it. So I bought some Splayed main caps, at least the 3 center caps are Splayed, and decided to see if I can make it work. And so far, I've got them all fit. They do fit down, the register's good. You have to take down this surface here because they machine them with a little extra meat there, and you got to get the right tolerances on your ends, and it is kind of a long process. It took me just kind of pecking away at it. It took me quite a while to do that. Not really something I would say that just everybody in the world could do, but on the other hand, if you have patience and the time and stuff, I think about anybody could do it. It's just a lot of tedious measuring, because you've got to have just the right amount of clearance. I think it's 1 to 3 thousandths. Once your cap is registered and your center 2 bolts are torqued down, you have to have at least 1,000 to 3 thousandths of an inch clearance right here on both sides, so you get the proper clamping force. I do have ARP studs to go in this. I bought the kit with the outer bolts. And then once you get it registered and fit just right, you got to drill the holes out. Drill and tap the outer holes out. Wasn't sure how that was going to go. I machined a bushing here to go inside the holes. And it was a little tight on one of them, so you can see it's a little bit chewed up there for pulling it out of the hole, but it doesn't go all the way in. And I got a stop on my drill bit, and it's a brand new good drill bit. Just took my time, and it actually drilled out a lot easier than I thought it was going to. I was afraid, trying to start at an angle, even with that bushing, that it might chip the end of the drill bit off or the drill off, but it done okay. Of course, after drilling, I used a little bit bigger drill bit to kind of give it a little more of a recess. And you know, kind of chamfered a little bit. Tapped it out with the tap. Yes, a couple of them did actually get into the water jacket. I think I would have been okay with, you know, if I would have really been paying attention, but I want to make sure I was deep enough I didn't bottom my bolts out. And it's not that big of a deal. I'd rather know I'm into a water jacket than be really, really close and possibly on down the road have a leak that I didn't know about. So I'm just going to treat them all like I got into the water jacket. I'll put some good thread sealant on these outer bolts to make sure that they're not going to leak any coolant into the crankcase. That would probably be not a good idea. Let's see what else we got going on here. Got the splayed caps. Just cleaning up some of the oil passages to get more oil flow, more consistent oil flow. So that's about all I've got done. But just, you know, a lot of cleaning up here and there. So it's about ready to go to the my machine shop. Gonna have it bored out, decked. I got to have all the caps line bored and line honed. Make sure my crankshaft fits in there good. And speaking of crankshafts, let me show you the crankshaft I've got if you don't already know what I've got going on here. Alright, so I've posted a video of this before of what crankshaft I got, but it's a stroker crank for 383, but the cranks for 305s and 350s are the same main journals, same rods, so they'll fit right into a 305 block. This is an old Cola brand. I think they quit making them in 2007, if I remember right. I don't know, I got into more detail on it on my last video I done about this. But the crank's in good shape, good stroker crank. Once I get it everything the way I want it, I'll have it balanced with the rest of the rotating assembly. So I got some big block heads there, some aluminum heads. Those are the heads that came off the 305. Now the cylinder heads I'm going to be putting on this 305, I run across some L98 aluminum heads. They're the, I'm not sure if they came into Camaros, but I know the Corvettes had the tune port injection L98 with aluminum heads on it. So they're good heads, been rebuilt as far as I know. I haven't actually, well, I did see them. Yeah, they're at a buddy's house. He said he's got some, so, and they're really cheap. And they're going to flow really good, because right now with the way things are going and the budget and stuff, I've spent enough money on everything else. For right now, I'm going to leave the same, or use the same camshaft I was using in this engine. It's actually a really good nitrous cam. Got a wide overlap, so it doesn't, like 114 degrees if I remember right, lobe separation angle. So it works really good with nitrous. It'll work good with any boosted application also, and it'll work really well with those L98 heads. So it'll all complement each other really good. So I think right now, as far as the price point and the budget goes, those L98 heads are going to be way better than, I think those were, I can't remember what those other heads are. Yeah, they're 434s is what was on there, and they were just stock. I didn't do anything to them. So that's what I got planned for cylinder heads and camshaft. Now I've got a whole half a table full of goodies here, and I'll show you some of them. I'm not doing very good on holding my camera straight, but let's see what I got. All right, I got all sorts of goodies. Of course, here's my other caps. I've got an old oil pump I cut off. That way I can use it to torque it down to the cap whenever I have it line bored and honed and all that. Got some cam bearings. I don't have my main or rod bearings yet. Oil filter adapter, billet one. Of course, my cord plugs. Got some ARP fasteners, head studs, main studs. And of course, you'll see a stack of Pro Comp and Speedmaster parts. I know a lot of people have their own opinions about Speedmaster, Pro Comp. I've used a lot of their products through the years, and honestly never had any problem. Now, if I was going to be building something I'm going to try to be really super competitive with, and on and on and on, I would probably spend the extra money on higher dollar parts. But they do work good. I haven't had any problems. I've got a Pro Comp balancer like this on my big block that's been in my crew cab, old buddy, for 10-15 years and don't have any issues. This is an SFI approved damper. It does have the bolt-on weight. I don't think I'm going to need it because I think that crankshaft is externally balanced. But it does have the bolt-on weight if I need it, if I, for whatever reason. I'll get that out of the way. Now, these guys right here, I did spend some extra money on some good rods. These are 6-inch rods. Let me see if I can wiggle one out. Speed Pro rods. Got the good rod bolts. These are supposed to be, according to their website and everything, supposed to be good for 1,000 horsepower. So that should be plenty. I'm not going to be making anywhere near that. If I was to guess, I would be happy and hoping to maybe make, maybe 400 horsepower. Naturally aspirated. I may be a little over. Hopefully I can get that far. Then, with the nitrous, 250 shot of nitrous, be over 600 horse. So, even if I'm at 350 horse naturally aspirated, 250 shot of nitrous, it gets me to 600 horsepower. So I wanted to kind of overbuild the bottom end to build a good foundation. Because regardless of what I do with it, you don't want to, just like building a house or anything like that, you want to build a good foundation, spend the money on the bottom end, because that way, the heads, camshaft, I can upgrade that later. It'd be a little bit easier to do that later. But no matter how far I upgrade the top end, my bottom end will handle everything I'm going to be putting to this little 305. So I did spend a little extra on the rods, and of course the splayed caps. I don't know what the splayed caps would have cost me to have a machine shop fit them. But I did it myself, so I saved some money there. And this is a good billet flywheel from Speedmaster. It's SFI approved. I want to make sure I didn't have a cast flywheel spinning around that might come apart. So I did spend a little extra money there. It's got the bolt-on weight also, if I do need it. So that's the parts I've got so far. Oh, I've got another thing over here. Not engine related per se, but I've got a 8-gallon fuel cell that I'll be putting in between the frame rails back here. That'll be coming up eventually. Not sure if I'm going to keep the factory tank so I can run pump gas in it and then just use the rear tank for race fuel, or what I'm going to do there. But I'll figure that out whenever I get to it. Not a whole lot else that I've got done. Mainly just parts and a little bit of work on this block. Once I get this block sent off the machine shop, don't know how long it's going to take there, so I'll have some time to maybe do some stuff to the truck itself, which I don't have a whole lot to do to the truck itself. But I might do some lightning, cut some sheet metal off the inner fender or the inside of the fenders or the hood bracing or something. I don't know. I don't really have a actual direction I'm going other than just trying to go faster than I was last time I had them at the track. And have fun. That's the main goal. Have fun. Yeah, doing this much with a 305 probably isn't a wise choice. It's a lot of money I'm putting into it. But other than the pistons, which I haven't got to what I'm going to do with the pistons yet, but other than the pistons, and I don't destroy everything in the meantime, once I have my phone with this 305, or something does maybe happen with it, who knows, as long as I don't do anything super catastrophic to it, I could use that crank, I could use those rods, I could use the flywheel. Everything you see that I've got so far, I could put in a 350 block. So I'm, not really just throwing my money away on a 305. But anyway, I kind of am, because you know it's never going to make the power of 383. I know that, but that's not my point. I'm just playing with this because that's what was in the truck. My main goal when I first started this project was just to show people you can have fun with what you have. You know, with a 305 and a 4-speed truck, you can go out and have fun with it. So that's what I've done. I'm just gonna stay with the 305 platform and the 4-speed, and just have fun with it and do something different. No LS swaps yet, maybe on down the road. All right, where was I? Yeah, my neighbor came up, had to visit with him for a minute. That's how things go. I get interrupted quite a bit, but not a big deal. So I think I've kind of covered what I've got going on here, and I didn't go over what pistons I'm going to use in this thing. I think they're DSS, or I can't remember the brand name of them, but good forged pistons. So they'll handle, you know, they're good for nitrous and boosted applications. So I'm going to have a good bottom end for this thing, a good short block. The heads may not be the best heads in the world, but they're way better than what I had, and they'll work well with the cam I got, like I said earlier. So that's got everybody caught up, I think, on what I've got going on in the shop. Of course, with this truck, of course, I've got Cream Puff also. I've got to get him kind of cleaned up. I'm thinking about doing some buffing and cleaning up, shining him up a little bit. I've got a car show, a cruise type thing coming up in May. I'm going to take him to in Springfield, Missouri. Buddy, I've got my crew cab. I've got some stuff to do with him. I've got some stuff. I've got, you know, parts laying around for my rock crawler too. So I've got parts for all 4 of my crew, or my square bodies. I got parts for my other trucks. So I've got plenty to do, plenty of content to make. It's just trying to come up with the time. So with all that said, I'm going to quit taking up any more of your time. I'm going to get busy doing what I'm going to do, and then so until next time, y'all keep your square bodies rolling, and we'll catch you later.